Welcome back, everybody. I was in the middle of building a new shed to go in my backyard when my old trusty table saw died. You can look on the right hand side there and see the magic smoke floating out the top. I had this saw for about 18 years, so I think I got the good out of it. I replaced it with a DeWalt DWE7485. This is an 8¼ inch model. The blade is 8¼ inches. You can see here that the mounting holes for the stand and the new saw don't line up. What to do. So I screwed a couple of 2x6s to the stand from the bottom and then drilled 4 1/4 inch holes that line up with what is on the saw, come from the factory, and run those 1/4 inch bolts through the mounting points on the saw and then through the holes that I drilled in the 2x6s, and put a washer and a nut on the bottom side of it. I use these 4 inch long 1/4 inch bolts, and I'm pleased with the way this turned out with the table saw being securely mounted to the stand. So I don't trust a brand new saw blade when I first turn it on. I never get in the path of it. In this case, I'm just going to lay this 2x12 across the top of it, turn the saw on, and see that the blade does not explode. This one did not. I've never had one explode, but I'm not ever going to take a chance. Now, be up front, I haven't read the manual yet. Even as I'm editing this video, I haven't read the manual. I'm not sure how this piece goes on here. Honestly, if it had snapped in there, I would have played with it, but I'm never going to use it, so I'm just setting that to the side. So the primary reason that I chose this saw was for the fence that comes with it. It was reviewed really well. I'm going to figure out how to stick the fence on to the track, and that was pretty simple. So for the first cut, I am going to shave 1/8 inch off of a 2x6. And just square up the edge a little bit. Once again, I'm kind of staying off to the side of the blade so that, being that it's brand new, if it decides to do something, have a catastrophic failure, then I hopefully won't be in the path of the debris that comes out of it. This blade is fine. It never gave me any trouble. So now I've set the fence for 5 1/4 inches. 2x6 is actually 5.5 inches wide. I've already shaved off 1/8 inch. Now I'm shaving off another 1/8 inch off of the other side so that I don't have any of the rounded corners on this piece. And when I got through measuring it, it was exactly 5 1/4. I'm very pleased with the way that turned out. As all the other reviews on the internet will show you, the slot for the miter gauge comes from the factory completely worn out with a lot of slack. Everyone who has reviewed the saw has pointed that out, and so I'm not going to elaborate on that any further. I am now going to rip what I was working on with my old saw. I'm going to finish this cut. I have set the depth of cut on the DeWalt table saw to maximum, which, as I measure it with a tape measure, looks to be about 2 inches, 2 5/8 inches, 2.625. I had already started cutting this board with the old saw when it died, and so I'm finishing a cut that I'd already started. This saw has plenty of power. I think I could probably bog it down with this 2x6, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I just wanted to finish this cut so I can get on with the project. As you can see, this 2x6 is already starting to cup a little bit. I don't know what the moisture content of it is. I don't care. This shed doesn't need anything to be incredibly precise, but I'm watching it here on the video and I can see the cupping of the 2x6, which could cause some binding on the blade. But this 2x6 is 5¼ inches on edge, and I can see with the sawdust burping out the top of that cut that I'd previously done that the saw blade is getting all the way through the material. And at this point, I'm pretty well confident that the blade is going to be good and stay together, and I'm not worried about hiding from it anymore. So the little roller, it's off screen, but where I'm feeding the 2x6 toward is about an inch too low. And so as I get toward the end of the board, I'm having to press down on the board in order to get it the depth of cut to be right where I need it to be. I didn't notice this on the first cut, and so right here at the end I can see where, as I try to split this open, that I didn't get all the way through on this particular cut. But that's just right at the end. So here in the middle, it cut all the way through just like I wanted it to. It was just right there on that last end. You can see on the right hand board there where the original saw, about the point at which it failed. So the part that didn't get completely cut, I just grab a chisel and knock that little bit off. So the saw's got plenty of power. It cuts angles. I've cut a couple angles with it. It's fairly accurate on the gauge. The mounting system seems to be holding up very well. So that's going to about wrap this one up. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate you watching. I'll catch you on the next one.